Ben, what seemed like a pretty promising opening half hour just fell apart by the end.
Yeah, I think is unfortunately the reality of where the group are currently at. The first 30 minutes were exactly how we intended. A lot of stuff we'd rehearsed and spoken about. I thought the intensity and the intent to hurt the opposition was there. And then, like, for the last 15 minutes of the first half, I could feel it coming off slightly, and then we concede, and it was like a real familiar feeling, to be honest. And at half time, we were, as coaches, slightly confused because we. But it's something I've seen here as well, and it's not at all to throw the players underneath the bus because we're all part of that, and it's just about trying to find a solution to bring the players to a place where they can react and overcome adversity, because that is part of football, a big part of football. So yeah, not good enough at all.
The goal just before half time felt like it completely flipped the game on its head. I think you're going in at 1-0 up at the break. I think you'd have fancied yourselves going into the second half, but it just seemed to completely zap the momentum and zap all sort of morale as well. Yeah,
I think so. You could definitely feel that, but it's like that is part of football. Like, people concede goals up and down the country at bad times, and so I don't know. We need to find a way to give the players like a feeling that that's okay. That's part of the game, and we can overcome that. And at the minute, we're not doing that.
The goals in the second half, you'll have been hugely disappointed by all of them, I suppose.
Yeah, I just watched a few of them back, and they will be hard to explain and justify. So yeah, they're almost that bad that they're not worth mentioning.
And I think it's one of those games that you probably don't want to go back over and pick out the details, because it just seemed so, not necessarily out of character, but it just seemed so wild and erratic from where you've been in the last couple of games.
Yeah, I think like I say, like with the second half, I almost can't help the team because I just become a cheerleader on the side because I don't recognise that. Like we don't work on that at all. So I can be a cheerleader on the side and I can clap and encourage you, but that's not what we're working on. So, but I understand where it comes from. It comes from a place of like the amount of scar tissue that's built up over the year, and just currently where the group is at is not great. But me, whoever comes in, whatever happens, is like you can't just wait for pre-season. Something needs to happen right now, and we have a big game on Wednesday to prepare for now. So we have to dust ourselves down and find a way to prepare properly for that.
Fans made themselves heard, cheering when Liam Kelly was going off. That must be harsh difficult for him to take.
Yeah, of course, and like I do, of course, I understand where it comes from with the fans. Not just with Liam, like it happens at all football clubs. I think I've probably been booed a few times as well, or cheered taken off. So, but like Kels loves football and cares a lot and tries his hardest every single day, and he's a beautiful human. So. Yeah, I don't love to hear that, but I get it, and it's like our job as a team to give the fans something to get excited about, and naturally they're disappointed at the minute, so I get it. And
they're not too keen on short corners either. It would seem they were desperate for you to kick one into the penalty area.
Yeah, and I get that. I think like I say, by that point is all thought process has sort of gone out the window, and you can see that. A lot of the stuff is not what we rehearse and what we practice, and it's learning for me is like really tough to affect it at that point as well, because the players are on the pitch and I understand the fans' disappointment. Like they for sure should be disappointed with
that. It's been a tough time at Stadium MK for them, hasn't it? I mean, it feels like we've been on the road an awful lot over the last few weeks, and though that corner did feel like it had been slightly turned over the last two games, and then. When they're back here, that sort of performance is what they've sort of had to eat up most of the season. Yeah,
I think so. And that was my message to the players before the game, really, was like, I really feel you have an opportunity today to show the corner that you've turned. And I thought, we have, because the first half an hour. But look, listen, there's no excuses. It's where the group are at, and we as coaches and temporary coaches and stuff, we have to try and find a solution to put the team in the best place as possible. And believe me, we are trying our absolute nuts off, and the players are trying as well. So there's no hiding from what happened today. We accept it all, we as always we have to learn and move on and try and prepare for the next one.
And that one comes on Wednesday against Notts County, who are a team flying at the right end of the table as well.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's a really tough test. But it's one that, like all footballers, want to be involved in, is big games against other teams that are really good. So, yeah, we will prepare. We'll watch them, and we'll try and give the players the ideas that we expect them to come with, and we'll try and arm the players with the solutions, and we'll go there and give it everything.
Cheers, Ben.
Just a quick one on Jonathan. Lecco was his first appearance here in over a year. Is this helping to get him back towards fitness and being able to start games in the not too distant future?
Yeah, for sure. It's like a process for anyone that's been out for that length of time. Is to try and play some like behind closed doors games and then start to feature for the first team. And I think his impact every time he's come on the pitch has been incredible. I think his intensity and what he gives the team has been brilliant. And he can be a big player for the team for the last part of the season.